Happy Friday, all. Hope everybody's having a great week. I have had a very long week. Last couple weeks. It's been a little wild. Feeling much better from last week. Thanks for asking in chat. I also had that, what was it, mini disaster, I guess, at work. Not really a disaster, but let's just say it was very challenging, and it required me. I didn't say a lot of things in that video, which I'll address real fast. I wanted to make that video just to kind of show folks a little bit behind the scenes of like what you see in IT. That was just a small business, so it's nothing too bad. I've sat at like a data center for 2 weeks, and it's been really bad. But that was just a huge bunch of little things that went wrong that led up into that thing. A couple things I missed from the video, which I probably should have added to that QNAP disaster, was that QNAP was from 2019. It was not an old box by any means. It should have been good for many, many years to come, but it did die. In post-mortem, the main guy over there, Dakota, he actually looked at that box and replaced the PSU afterwards just to kind of see, hey, what happened with this thing? Because it was really weird for it just to completely die, and it ended up being a bad motherboard. So that was the end of it. So even if I would have done like a PSU transfer, or basically replaced the PSU in it, it would not have booted back up regardless. And it's just wild that, you know, a little over 2-year-old device would just go out like that right in the middle of production. I mean, that's pretty wild. So needless to say, I will never use QNAP appliances again. I'm done. And as far as a lot of people were asking about the solution to go to on that, I'm probably going to build a full-blown TrueNAS system with all generically sourced parts. So like, should we ever have an outage, one, there would be local replication, and two, we would be able to do that pretty easily. Another solution which would be pretty comparable would be just to do 2 Synology boxes, which, you know, most people were like, well, that's proprietary, but Synology has a better track record, at least for me. And I know they have really good replication schemes, because that's what I use here. You know, I have 2 1821 pluses, which were very solid. And yeah, pretty wild. But all in all, it's just been a long week, and I'm still probably a little sleep deprived, because that conversion, when we went over there that night, we finished up around 2 a.m. So that was just it. Most of that was just waiting for copies of backups before we did anything. So that was the big thing. But yes, much better. It was just been a wild start to the month. And like, for any members, and also over on ChrisTitus.com members, I haven't even done a members video this month, just because it's been like, boom, as soon as the first of the year hit, it was just, So thanks so much. It was such a crazy time. But, you know, that's just how it goes. You know, when it rains, it pours, so to speak. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, everything can. And like I said, it's just all about personal experiences. It's not to say QNAP's a bad brand. It's just I've had enough bad experiences that I just won't use them anymore. All right, well, cool. Well, I got some cool stuff to show folks today. Let's jump on the desktop. I have something big news that you're about to see on the desktop. I'm still using GNOME. Can you believe that? I've always not really liked GNOME, but I gotta say, their Wayland implementation is way better than any other desktop environment. And even though I hate GNOME extensions, I gotta say, I really enjoy this setup, what you're looking at. Like, oh, did this finish? Oh, yeah, I guess that did. Let me disconnect. I was editing a video. But, so what happens is, anytime I connect up my Streambox now, with Wayland, it auto adjusts the resolution, mirrors it, so everybody sees everything. So there's no more One second, let me fix my Xorg running a script and doing like xrandar or arandar, adding comp files. It actually does mirroring properly, and scaling's a much better. I wish the scaling was a little bit more fractional on GNOME, because I think if you go into like settings, what is it? Oh, yeah, I think it's 100 to 200. I wish it was like 150 and that type of thing. So I probably should check Deepin. I'm going to probably explore that next, because I know Deepin has some really good scaling as well. But so far, this has been phenomenal using Wayland instead of Xorg. The other things about Wayland, where it still hadn't caught up, is so many Linux applications that deal with display and rendering. Well, they just don't work very well on Wayland. A good example of this is, I think, like Synergy. Yeah, there is no Wayland support for Synergy. So you might run into that as well. And is like, hey, please switch to Xorg if you wish to use this. And I have tried like XWayland, which kind of emulates Xorg in Wayland. And for Synergy, it's just not a good solution at all. But I mean, it would be a solution if I really got hard up. I could probably rig something up, but it'd be very, very janky. But, you know, for me, talking as much smack as I have about GNOME, I gotta say, this implementation, the settings, and the Wayland support with switching from 1440p to 1080p mirrored has been phenomenal. So, the best out of every desktop environment I've tried as of yet. But I do still have some to try, and Deepin and some other ones are definitely on my list. So very, very cool, and I'll probably I'll stop talking so much smack about GNOME, other than their crappy implementation of extensions. You know, I'm always going to harp on GNOME extensions until they fix it to where it's not web-based with an extension on a browser. Yeah, there should be a way to enable 150 scaling. It'd be cool. Chris, that's my name. I like it, man. That's good. But yeah, other than that, we do have some other cool developments here. I did finally get a PlayStation, which I was like, heck yeah. So me and a buddy of mine, we're gonna play some PlayStation games coming up, and I was rigging all that up here in the studio as well. And this is pure Debian, by the way. Let's just do a NeoFetch. I have changed up my console a little bit as well. As you see, this is not a lightweight install with Debian. 3,000 packages. And you'd be hard pressed to find anybody with more packages than me installed. And I think I did like a Mac theme for this. Like I said, I'm about to rip all this out and switch it all up again and install another desktop environment. But so far, man, I do like it. It's nice with this. And as far as extensions going for GNOME, probably doesn't look a lot like some folks. But let's just go shell extensions and installed extensions. So this is kind of what I'm using for a lot of my installed extensions, like auto move windows. If I open up like Brave, it's always going to push it to workspace 1, which is really nice. Dash to panel, putting the dash down here and kind of customizing it a little bit. Adding app indicators, that's this guy. Applications menu, get like an old school start menu. Disable application switch animation. It was driving me crazy. They do this weird like sliding effect, and I'm like, this isn't a YouTube video, man. This is the desktop I'm working on. Like, the animations in GNOME are just awful. Improve workspace indicator. So if you like go to, let's say, a new workspace and open up, it leaves those workspaces open and kind of indicates which ones you're on, which is, I think, pretty much needed. And pop shell, I do use tiling. I do like the little tiling features. Using pop shell, which has been great. That's just a GitHub project to theme. And then user themes, a lot of this has like this Mac theme. So if you see something Mac-esque, that's what that is using a GNOME theme. So that's kind of my breakdown of my current setup. but it's going to change. I don't even know. I don't think I'll do a YouTube video on that. I just kind of want to show people that care that have asked in chat. But it looks okay. I'm still not a fan, but I like to try out everything and then kind of come back to it and see what I can do with that, because it's important to not just be stuck in, hey, I tried this 3 years ago and it sucked. I want to try it again. And it is better. And this is probably the best setup I can do for the GNOME desktop environment. I do have a little bit of a cold. I'm still a little bit under the weather, I guess, from last week, but I'm feeling really good. And I've been skateboarding a bunch outside, and it's really cold. So, you know, that's how it goes. Try Cosmic. You'll be amazed. All right. I'll definitely try that. Okay. Fractional scaling is coming in 3.32. Which, what did I have on here? Let's see. Does it say the GNOME version? GNOME 41.2. That's not the GNOME version. That's weird. I wonder why NeoFetch shows that. Let's go about. Does it show GNOME over here? 41.2. So 3.32. I don't know. Maybe the versioning's off on GNOME. It's weird how they do their versions. Whatever. Yeah, so here's a project. This is actually coming out on Sunday's video. I'm trying to get back into amping up my video production, and I wanted to kind of show branches of GitHub projects. This is like actually the theme of today's live stream. Let's see here. Let's open this up. We're gonna change, and we're gonna just do a brand new install of Arch. Come back to Arch Titus, because Arch Titus, when I did it, I added so much customization that it wasn't very good for any advanced users. If you're more of an advanced user, or maybe you're learning and you want to just kind of build your own thing, I wanted to make a good base for people to make their own distro or their own Arch spin without any bloat, because I think that had well over 1,000 packages, the Arch Titus one, and I don't want to do that. So let's put that number 2. Let's hit play. I wanted to do a quick Arch install. Now, Sunday's video is me installing Arch Linux in 4 minutes, and you guys can time this as well. It'll be in the Sunday's video, but we're gonna just do it again. I did this video, I think, yesterday, and we're just gonna do an install of Git. Yes, my love. Thank you. Much appreciated. Oh, that was a brown sugar? Oh, my bad. I wondered why my coffee tasted weird.
All day long.
Yeah, it was so strange. Thank you, my love. Oh, so great. So yeah, let's get back here. Hopefully nobody started the timer yet. So we booted into our Arch ISO. Let's just, what is it, 9:30ish right now. We're just gonna install Git, and then we're gonna just do a git clone -b for branch server, and then from server we're gonna do github.com Titus Tech, and then Arch Titus. This will clone all of Arch Titus, but it will only clone the server branch. So then we just cd or change directory into Arch Titus, and then we're just going to launch Arch Titus. We put Titus, we'll put a password, Arch Titus server, and then select our disk. You can, if you did it last time, you'll notice it's a little different this time around. You can change like BetterFS to ext4, all those things. Also, keyboard layouts. I wanted to make this global, so if you're overseas, you know, you can choose a different key map for your keyboard, all that stuff. Oh yeah, we're already 2 minutes in. Let's hurry up. Now, there are a couple things here that I did. I could cheese this a little bit. I think I could get an Arch install in about 100 seconds or so, probably under 2 minutes, if I didn't do anything with the mirroring and I did everything local and I already pre-downloaded the packages. I bet I could install Arch in about 90 seconds. That's how quickly you can probably do something like this. Even still, with adjusting the mirrors, installing a lot of utilities and stuff that pretty much everyone's going to need anyways, and then doing the re-download, I think this is pretty good. And I think it'll be very helpful for most folks out there trying to do Arch Linux for the first time. And this allows you to build kind of everything, because all this does is grab your microcode, your kernel, all the basic things for a Linux server that you might need. Also sets up your user, and then also downloads Yay AUR helper, so then you could just install whatever package you want. So if we want to do like GNOME, we just talked about Deepin, and I bet there's a Deepin package for Arch we can tinker with on this setting after we boot in. But I wanted to show this install first. I just discovered Files v2 for Windows. Yeah, I saw. I was actually going to make that video, and then I saw Tech Hut released Files v2 because what happened was, it was kind of funny. Files v2, it was an actual user tweeted at me and said, "Hey, check out Files v2." And then Tech Hut follows me on Twitter, and he saw that. And then I think he gave me like a week, 2 weeks, and he's like, I guess Titus isn't going to make the Files v2 video. So he made it, and that's pretty cool. It's a really neat project. It's a great GitHub project, and it's very, very neat. I haven't watched Tech Hut's video yet on it, but I did see it was doing extremely well for him, and that's awesome. So if you're interested in a new file explorer for Windows, definitely check out Tech Hut's video on that. I might circle around in like 6 months or something, but with it being so fresh from him, I don't want to recreate the same stuff. Yeah, you gotta have tabs when you're doing file exploring, for sure. So what are we about? I think we're about 4 minutes in right now. Let's see. Yeah, we're already to the setup of user. We might have like another 60 seconds here. These are the Sennheiser, I think the 618s or something. They're wireless headsets from Sennheiser. They're pretty solid. I like them. Yeah, I don't know why Windows File Explorer. It seems like it got worse in Windows 11 with the file exploring. Not much improvements. I mean, honestly, Microsoft could just copy Files v2 and add it in, and people would just be really happy with that. All right, so we're finished. Total runtime here was 4 minutes and 12 seconds. So with that, we'll just do a power off. And from the power off, we'll just eject our installation media for Arch. Start it up. Here's the startup. So customized, we already themed Grub out. So within 4 minutes, 4 minutes and 12 seconds, it's already booted up. And we have a fully functional Arch system. So not too bad, right? So there's everything. That's all we need. Now, is Deepin, is there a package for Deepin? Let's see. Deepin desktop base. I wonder if you can just do yay-s Deepin. Let's see. Which one do we want? Deepin. I feel like there would be a full-blown desktop. I think that desktop dash base would be our best bet. Yeah, so I think we'll just do it all and see what this is. But I just wanted to show. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go there. Yes. And we'll just do an example of using this server base for whatever. But we could do GNOME here. We could do whatever. You can pick your poison. And the reason why I did this was it's only 180 packages. So almost nothing. Install base is around, I think, 600 megs. Or no, I think it's close to about a gig in size, fully installed. But you have a functional boot with a grub installed. You have all the packages needed, and then you can just install whatever you want over it. Or let's say you're not big into Linux GUI and you just want to stay on the CLI and have like a server system that's Arch based. This would be a perfect install. So using the server branch is really nice. What does the network connections fix do in your toolbox? That's a good question, Tosh. That does net sh int IP reset. That sets up all the IP protocols on your system. It resets it to factory settings. It also unregisters and re-registers WinSock, which is net sh WinSock reset. And usually when you have a bunch of network issues, or sometimes you have a virus and it hijacks your network or your NIC, that network connections reset will reset all the protocols, and then it'll also reset your WinSock DLLs, which is pretty much the IP stack that Windows uses. So it's a good way to fix. It won't harm anything. If you have like any like proprietary like VPNs that might use a special protocol, it might uninstall those. But rarely do I ever see like anything. I think the only thing that I use on Windows that that would affect, I want to say like Wireshark. If I'm doing like packet inspection on Windows, I might it might mess with my Wireshark, and usually that's just re-enabling that protocol after that's done. So let's see here. I don't know. Does Deepin have probably do like GDM? I guess. Let's see. Deepin display manager. For Deepin, does it use anything like GDM, SDDM, LightDM? I wonder. So we could use whatever we want. Probably GDM. I like GDM's base. It's clean enough. So let's just do yay SGDM. So you can do, okay, so I guess it's installing wire. Oh, okay, that's fine. It's gonna go ahead and grab Xorg and all that stuff for us too. I'm not adding it to Arch Titus. I'm just showing a modification. This is the server branch, and I want to show people how to kind of do it. And really the two things that you need to make a functional Linux distro is a display manager, which I just showed. There's three ones really. The three big ones that most people use are LightDM, which is pretty universal, SDDM, which is more KDE based. KDE comes with that. And then there's GDM, which is GNOME based, or GNOME usually uses it. For Deepin, since I was already installing, like, I think the pull kit from GNOME and some other GNOME utilities, I thought GDM would be a little bit more appropriate for this. I did not see it do like a install of, let's see, systemctl. Let's see what the status of GDM is. Yeah. Systemctl enable GDM. We'll do a dash now. Forgot to do that. That should kick us to here. We'll log in. We'll select Deepin. Oh, look at that. You detected you're using a... Okay, smooth. Normal mode is back gnome. Okay, we'll just do normal mode. Huh. That's cool. Interesting. Does not feel like that's all that functional. Let's give it a restart. Let's reboot. All right, we'll start it up again. It's probably because I just did that. All right, deep in. Let's log back in. See what we get. What's that look like? Is that even gonna launch? Yeah, so deep in did not install correctly. Huh. Let's see. I didn't even see GNOME get installed though. That was. Let's see if GNOME launches. Yeah, GNOME launched. Do we even have a terminal on here? We didn't even install terminal. Let's send it to like a TTY and fix that, shall we? Let's just do a yay s kitty. All right. Let's come back into our workspace. And then we should have kitty now at least. Nice. Neo fetch. Oh, we don't even have... Yeah, so this is just a bare bones, so we could do kind of whatever we want. Neo fetch. So there you go. Like, even with deep in and GNOME in here, you still only have 610 packages. I mean, can you even be mad at that? That is just... That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Do we... Oh, we don't even have GNOME settings. So this is bare bones. But look at that memory usage. 400 megs. I love it, because then you just build whatever you want on there, which is pretty awesome. GDM theme easily. You know, I don't have I even used the GDM theme? We can look at changing the GDM theme. Well, so like without ISO, as far as installing Arch Linux, just download the Arch Linux ISO. We can actually create our own ISO too. We could do that today's stream, and I'll just toss it for anybody that's, you know, donated and put for like the images I do for Arch Titus. We could do an ISO and toss it up there. It's just I have to keep recreating that ISO because Arch Linux really after about a couple months is... You have to keep recreating those ISOs. Where like Debian, you can go a whole year or 2 years and it's fine. But Arch, man, you get just a little out of date and it's just, you're gonna have a bad time. So anyways, let's ooh. You know, I wonder if I could customize a lot of my hotkeys and add those in here. That'd be cool. Although, let's see, I think GNOME settings is what we need. Let's type kitty and yay s GNOME. Let's go s. What is the GNOME settings? Is that a thing? Oh, yeah, there it is. Those are all AUR. Oh, then Damon's there. What is, let's do a yay, S. What? GNOME. I just don't use GNOME very much. If ever. Let's just see what packages we have for GNOME. Epiphany. There's a lot of garbage to GNOME too. Let's see what we got. Is there anything in here? How do you use QEMU in Windows? I wouldn't really use QEMU. One thing I wish I mentioned in that virtualization thing for Windows users, I would say VMware Workspace is pretty awesome. If you're really into virtualization and you just have to have your Windows, VMware is where you want to go. And that means you got to fork up some money. And, you know, you'll get QEMU-like performance, maybe even a little bit better than QEMU with VMware. But again, it's money. It's all paid. And I think Workstation's $300, I want to say. It's been a while since I purchased a VMware license. A long time. Actually, I haven't really purchased one in probably over 10 years. As I have a buddy that does a lot of high-end work for many big corporations, and he just gives me all the licenses. He's just like, hey, whatever you need, I got you. So he usually just sends me all the stuff I need for any test environment. And I don't like VMware just because it's so bloody expensive. Yeah. We'll install GNOME Control Center. Gotta have that. Today, we're just kind of looking at branches of certain things. This is the server branch, and I just wanted to kind of do a quick showcase of the server branch and show folks that you can create whatever you want using the server version of Arch Titus, which is there. Let's see. Let's just log out. Very heavy on the mouse theming on this. Settings. Let's go. I mean, this is really, other than blinding me, this is not bad. I do like the theming of GNOME. I gotta say, they do a good job, at least with that. Let's do that. We can scale it up a little bit. Oh, look at that. Old man resolution. I like it. Where's that, where's the dark theme in GNOME? That might be like an extension. That's the thing I hate, is like a lot of it is like extension based. Ooh, Granddad mode. But at least you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, but the icons look kind of poopy. Yeah, well. Fun. Fun. Anyways, moving on. Let's catch up with chat here. What's the best GUI if you use Arch? Well, the best GUI is whichever one you're most comfortable with. Yeah, VMware has VMware Player, which has basic functionality for just playing a VM. You can't create a VM with that, though, but you can play like VMDK files using VMware Player, and it's pretty good. And you can find cheap keys with VMware. There's some outsourced ones, yeah. Nothing I'd recommend, but then again, I'm not spending any money on it, so I don't care. Do you think dual booting with Win 10 is a better option? Or buy a new SSD and start from scratch if you want to install it instead of purchasing a license? I'd buy a new SSD and dual boot. Awesome sauce. I think that's a good idea. Let's see. Let's go chat. Yeah. Dual booting. I think that's a good idea. I just do. I think that's good. Have you ever run Docker containers on an Arch server? I have not. I don't ever use Arch for server-based stuff. You're just never going to see an Arch server in production. It's just not a good idea. Arch itself is just too unstable to run in a production environment. I love Arch, but it's just not meant for something that you just leave. Because what happens with Arch is if you just leave it alone, never update it for months on end, the key server gets all jacked up and updating becomes a hassle, and you're just like, why didn't I install Debian or a Rail-based system? So you just don't see Arch servers really. Arch is fun for, Arch is really fun for those that want to use Linux as a desktop environment. I'd say it's really what opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I'm really appreciative of Arch. It sounds like I'm crapping on it by saying it's unstable, but it's not. It's fine as long as you stay up to date with it. GNOME tweaks for dark mode. Thank you. Yeah, I should have installed that package. That used to be GNOME Tweak Tool, and then it changed to GNOME Tweaks, I think in the past couple years. That shows you how long it's been since I've used Arch. Which OS would you recommend for a 6-year-old laptop? I like Windows Desktop, by the way, and it can't run Windows smoothly anymore. I'd probably go with like Kubuntu, or if it's like a netbook or something really, really low powered, or maybe some piece of crap old Celeron laptop, I would probably even go with Ubuntu or Peppermint for that. Ubuntu and Peppermint, I swear you could run those on a potato and they'd work great. Absolutely love that. I had to suffer with Windows overwriting grub. Yeah, it's actually getting better, Sniper. I have not had Windows overwrite grub in almost a year now. So I've been very fortunate, and the last time I did it was an upgrade to Windows 10 to Windows 11. I was like, surely it's going to wipe out grub. But it never touched it. So even during a big upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11, it didn't overwrite my grub. So maybe Microsoft's getting better. I mean, I don't think so, but one can hope. I did stop using BSPWM, but I still like it, and it's there mainly because for my studio PC here, it's just BSPWM does not do mirroring very well, and BSPWM can only be done with Xorg. It's not Wayland compatible. So those were the big reasons why I switched off BSPWM, is mainly because I switched my monitor out to a high def monitor that, and also switching to Wayland obviously completely means I can't use BSPWM. Read the whole message. Oh, it does make you, I thought you needed a license for that, Hikari. Again, it's been a while since I used VMware Player, but it used to be you couldn't make VMs through it. But they might have opened that up. I have not used Deepin as a daily driver. You know, I get this, and I saw a bunch of, you know, armchair quarterbacks in the comments, and some people jump to a lot of conclusions on that. That QNAP was 2 years old, or a little over 2 years old. It was a 2019 model. It was a lemon, obviously, and the PSU was fine, actually, in it. Post-mortem, a little bit even more past I made that video, we found out the motherboard went bad. And we did have local replication, but that local replication broke for whatever reason. And the data was about a month old. And obviously, that's what led to that whole video. However, with it going properly and checking backups, it doesn't matter. You could do it just fine as long as you're doing some type of local replication so you don't run into the problem I ran into. The big thing here, the lesson to be learned, the number one lesson, is check your backups. That's it. Doesn't matter if it's proprietary NAS or a TrueNAS system, you're still going to run into problems. I would say if it was like a self-built TrueNAS system and it's completely open, the nice thing is you can get parts easily and repair it very, very easily, which is something that for our local replication, I'll probably do. However, here in the studio, I'm going a different way, where I have two identical Synology systems. I have an 1821 Plus, two of those, so I do local replication. And that works great. meaning if one goes down, the other one's just running. And I will say Synology does a way, way better job than QNAP when it comes to replication. QNAP, you're pretty much relying on like RTRR and some other stuff. QNAP has its own replication front end, so very easy to do. So I'm on the fence here. I can see the benefits to both, and I like both solutions, whether it's TrueNAS or Synology duplicate drives and systems. The big thing here is making sure local replication's good, no matter what you do. I've thrown my rig on update on Windows 11. Do you think it's stable enough now? I think it is. I think there's still some little glitches here that bother me about Windows 11, but nothing, no showstoppers anymore. Nothing like, oh man, you just can't do that. So it's fine. It's fine. Should I use an SLC USB to save on SATA ports on TrueNAS Core? I don't know about using any kind of USB device to save. That's just, I don't use USB, period. When it comes to storage appliances, no matter what it is, I just, no. SATA to SATA or replication to another device is the only backup you should do of your backup. Oh, Rocky Linux. No, I'm not using it as a desktop anymore. I still use Rocky for some server stuff, but it's all headless and it's all CLI based. It's great for a server, but for desktop, that was more just for fun. But the packages are so old with Rocky because it's a RHEL-based system. Any RHEL-based system, you're going to run into old packages, but it makes for a great server. I mean, Wayland. It does better job with high resolution. It really does. It does a better job than Xorg when it comes to high resolution and specifically screen mirroring, where Xorg really sucks at screen mirroring. And that's why I'm using Wayland. Is it mature though? Kinda. Like, you're still going to run into a lot of incompatibility with a lot of different applications using it, though. Which do you prefer, Debian or RHEL for production servers? If I'm going to leave up the server longer than a year, it's always going to be RHEL-based. I don't use Arch, I don't use Debian, I don't use Ubuntu. If it's going to go up for more than a year, it's always going to be RHEL-based. That's where Rocky Linux comes into play. And the reason for that is twofold. One, stability. Like, in the desktop realm, you got all these hobbyists in the Linux desktop realm, and they don't use Linux like most of the world uses it as a server-based system. And Debian's considered stable in the desktop realm, and it's really not in the server realm compared to a RHEL-based system. Yes, it is a stable release. Like, even Ubuntu does these 5 years LTS releases, long-term service releases. But with the RHEL-based stuff, you're going to have a different mentality. Like, Ubuntu and Debian's more about functionality and some ease of use. RHEL-based stuff is all about security and reliability. That's their main focus. Like, their number one thing is security. Like, you look at the exploits, Debian's going to have 3 times the exploits compared to RHEL. And you're going to have a lot more stability. So, yes, always going to be RHEL for most long-term production. Have you tried Unraid? I got a great story about Unraid. I have tried it, and it can be fun for those that just kind of want to, the hobbyists out there, or just you want to tinker around with it. It's a great software for that. I've never used Unraid in production, and I'm not a fan. But then again, I am not working on anytime I do like a VM host or something like that, or something that's just going to be virtual machines, and that's all it's going to do. It's typically going to be running like a dedicated hypervisor, and Unraid is like this weird hybrid. And it can be good. It can be good for some folks. I used to be a little bit harsher on Unraid, but Unraid actually responded to a tweet of mine, and I tweeted out, and I was like, "Oh, I hate Unraid," or something like that. It was something, you know, one of those, you know, hot takes on that you get on Twitter. And then Unraid saw my tweet, the official Unraid PR department, and it was the best response you could ever do from a company. So props to Unraid for this one. But they basically just got a meme of Chris Farley looking up, and he's like, and that was it. That was the full response, official response from Unraid, and I laughed my butt off. So those guys have a good sense of humor, and their product can definitely suit some folks. Usually, I go for a couple hours, so probably another hour or so. I just wanted to catch up with chat here and see if there's any other questions and stuff. How can I start my backup of my laptop? Depends on what you're using, Mike. You know, some of the best software that you can get is more server-based software. But if you're using Windows and stuff, I don't like the built-in backup from Windows, but Veeam, solid. Veeam is used everywhere in the business world, and it is a very, very good piece of backup software. So Veeam is great. If you're on Linux, I would say, you know, just regular rsync with a cron job. You know, you can set up your own stuff. It's great. What's up, Sparky? I'm not clicking on that. Sparky, you're terrible. My friend have a problem with the RX 550 when he installs new drivers and restart. His screen got glitchy. Depends on how he's doing it, or maybe it's an old kernel. I haven't used the RX 550. I didn't even know that was a card. I've had the 570s and even a 560 at one time, I think it was, but I didn't even know the 550s did it. Thoughts on crossover? It's a good way for the Wine team to monetize a little bit and get paid for their work. So I like the idea of crossover. I can't say I've ever used it though. When I do a security update, should I use I wouldn't say you need to use the debloat tool after security updates. It's mainly like the feature updates. You got to pretty much debloat it again. So going from like 20H1 to 20H2 or 21H1 or 21H2, those big feature updates will rebloat your system. So then you probably would want to rerun it. Any report on how to stream Winbox using a Linux box, both with AMD GPUs, similar to what you do with your NVIDIA GPU? Yeah. You can do that with Sunlight. It's an open source GitHub project, which is pretty good. And then Moonlight's what I use for the client. So for the host, you do Sunlight, and then for the client, you would use Moonlight. Make a tutorial to install Mac OS and a KVM. I've already done that, actually. Oh, and then using Final Cut Pro for video editing. Oh, that's a good idea. And just do a full pass-through. I wouldn't use an NVIDIA GPU for the pass-through, though. If you're going to do video editing, you probably would want like a 580, 590, or a Vega. A Vega 64 would be a beast. And I think those are all Mac compatible. So you could pass through that using QEMU and then do your Mac VM. There's a really good GitHub project to basically do all the config for you for the Mac OS. The only thing you need to figure out is probably passing through a dedicated hard drive, like an SSD would be great, and then passing through your GPU, which again, for a Mac KVM or Mac virtual machines, you're going to want an AMD card. As NVIDIA, what was it? I think it was before Catalina and Mojave. I want to say High Sierra is the last NVIDIA based drivers and stuff. So really, really old. So you always want an AMD GPU when doing Mac VMs and you want to do pass-through. I've heard a lot about Borg. I have never used it though. The Windows backup and restore is still the same as it was in Windows 7. Yeah, they don't like to change stuff that much. It's not awful. It's better than nothing. I've been meaning to do that video for like 2 years. But I think I was originally going to do it with a try-boot system, and then I switched everything out, and then I never got around to it. Yeah, it was pretty much like that. David, I need to reinstall. I still have my PinePhone Braveheart edition, but I kind of want to grab the PinePhone Pro for about $400 and do that one next. It's just I haven't done it. That's actually one of the most popular videos I ever made, was the original PinePhone video, and using it instead of iOS or Android. And as those operating systems become even more intrusive and more, you know, big brothery, it's something that I think a lot more people are really interested in. Lots of comments today. Let's see. Can I install Kubuntu on an early 2011 MacBook Pro which has been patched with... Yeah, you should be able to pretty easily there, George. Couldn't imagine too many issues with that. All right, let's get back to the desktop here. Oh, I switched out my video card back to Magewell because I was tired. The Camlink Pro from Elgato was actually kept trying to do 4K res, and the Magewell just downsampled everything to 1080p just so perfectly that I was like, pretty good. All right, let's get back to the old GitHub projects and see what we got on the agenda. We already showed the Arch Titus branch. We could do like Windows 10 script, and this time instead of doing a GUI script, like if we look at this and I'm not in Windows, but if I actually did that, we could modify this script to be a one-click run and create some new branches, which would be pretty cool. Let's look at any pull requests. I like kind of going through here. Anything good? EOS host block. What is this guy doing? Thickthighs.eu. What is this? It's such a weird host file. What is he blocking here? He's blocking a lot of Epic Games stuff. Red Shell and treasuredata.com. That's a weird pull request. I'm gonna have to deny that one. Not interested. That's that's gonna just piss off a lot of people. Fixed a bug. Breaking. Okay, what's this one? What do we got? Yes, no. Silently continue. That might work. Brave browser. Oh, he's just adding a couple different add-ons. That's an interesting one. We could probably throw this in like a test branch for each object. Disabling. That probably would work just fine. Come back to it. Usually what I like to do with these, talking about like GitHub branches, I've really been trying to really utilize more of the community when editing a lot of my projects. So a lot of times I like to change these pull requests to the test branch and then just commit them. And I did this with Arch Titus. I committed it was like some massive changes. It was, I think 17 different pull requests. and I just merged most of them, and then I just went back through the test branch and fixed them all, and then did one final merge pull request to the master after I fixed up the test branch. So a lot of times I come in here, kind of go through each one of these and go, okay, which one do I want to do? Add, extract images from Windows Spotlight directory. Huh. That's an odd addition. Spotlight image extractor. That's probably not, that's pretty harmless. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that's fine. We can add that. And let's see what else we got. File, explore unspecified error. D-word value, 1. Changing. Oh, okay. And this is on the essential undo add click. Okay, yeah, this would change it to go back to quick access. Who really likes quick access in Windows Explorer, though? But he's right. That needs to go back to stock settings. That's what essential undo is supposed to do. And then additions and fixes. Oh no. We have a nuke the world commit. Usually, oh no. Damn it. Yeah. When someone like re-edits everything, it's like impossible to use anything they have. Let's see what else we got. I just don't have any idea. So anytime I'm going to change the GUI, it's going to overwrite most of this stuff. Oh, sad face. Can't use this. It's just too much. Did I, yeah, I'm gonna probably have to close this pull request. It's too much, and then that one's an old one. I was just using this old pull request just to kind of get some ideas from different folks. And then we got a bunch of issues, which I'll probably go through offline. It's neat. All right, moving back to our projects here too. What's the best way to patch DWM? Should I every patch? You know, I haven't really used DWM enough to actually mention that. I need to use DWM. A lot of people swear by it. Let's see what else we got. How's our bootloader theme? Do we have much pull requests here? Looks like a pretty basic pull request. Theme directory, boot grubs theme. Seems like it'd be fine. Yeah, he's just doing a set for auto, and then both of those look good. Although on the theme directory, I kind of like it going to USR share grub themes instead of boot grub themes. I'll come back to it. I'll do some research on that guy before we do anything. And I'm going to check Titus Pi real fast. Do we have any? Nah, nothing really there. I need to add and edit this, probably doing like a BSPWM. This is probably going to be my next week's project, actually, is re-updating this and switching it to BSPWM. I do like how I did the exit screen here with Rofi. I'll need to probably switch that up. I do like the full screen exit. But very neat, very neat. What else we got? Is single GPU pass-through system worth it? No. Because at that point, why not just dual boot? That's my thing. if you're going to do it, you might as well just dual boot, because you can't, when you do single GPU pass through, you pretty much pass through your existing GPU to the VM, meaning you can't switch back to your existing system unless you shut down your VM, because it won't have a GPU. So single GPU pass through, I'm like, it never made any sense. I was like, I guess because you don't have to reboot your computer, but rebooting your computer is like, what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and you don't have any of the issues which you have in the VM. You know, just my 2 cents. Oh, you know what? You have oh, this is a cool tool, XI or IX. This is actually, I grabbed this from RWX Rob. If anybody's familiar with him, he did this, which is so darn cool. IXIO is like a paste bin for command line, and it is truly amazing. I'm blinding the crap out of everybody, but this is so neat. So let's say I want to make something and do it in like a paste bin. I think we could do, let's see here. This just, if we put a variable when we do IX, it does that. If we don't put a variable after IX and we like echo whatever to IX, I want to say it would, let's look at the actual command. Might just do IX right here. I like this implementation of it, just doing it in bash RC, to where we can do a global copy and paste kind of thing. It's kind of interesting, but this is a neat little paste bin for your terminal. It's very useful. We can delete, we can add. I'll circle back and maybe do a video about this. It'd be kind of obscure, but at the same time, IX is so cool. What else we got in here? I don't think anybody's seen this repo in forever. Oh yeah, timer. This was yeah, that was the timer Hikari made. And I re-updated that last month when I lost it. Let's move on. Ooh, firewall setup. I do need to readdress this for the firewall setups, because IP tables is actually deprecated, and I want to say it's like NF tables, or oh gosh, what is that package? NF and T tables? I don't remember, but I remember this actually. I need to go through and redo this, because this would set up a basic one, or we could do it through UFW as well. Allah, thanks so much for the super chat. NF tables, yeah. So that's something that I probably really need a full-blown one as well. Linux, Mac OS. This is another project I did, and I actually made images on my website for download on this. This works still pretty good if you're still using like Ubuntu 20. As soon as Ubuntu 22 comes out and Pop OS gets their update, I'll probably do something, revamp this. But I do need to look at the Cosmic DE, I think it is. Oops. Is Cosmic a desktop environment? Thought so, right? Have they already made anything with Cosmic? So, main interface, dock, shell. Has anybody even seen Cosmic? Huh. Cosmic on... Let's try it on Arch. I would like to see more of a bleeding Arch. Let's see. I just don't want to make sure... I want to make sure it's not in, like, the AUR or something. When was this made? 21. I'm sure it's in the regular repos now. You don't probably need to change the mirrors. Probably just doing Cosmic should do it. Let's redo our Arch again and try and do Cosmic. Let's explore Cosmic Desktop. I'm interested. A lot of people are saying good things about it. And yeah. We could always clone it from there too and build it if it's not in any of our repos. It does require a Pop OS theme, GNOME shell, and Pop shell. Cool. Let's just add that guy. Fly. And we're just going to start it up. We're just going to do another brand new install, shall we? We'll use the server portion of this as well. Fork it and call it orgasmic. Oh, I love it. I love it. Cosmic Desktop at the moment is just a bunch of extensions for GNOME. Oh, okay. Interesting. Let's see what old System 76 is up to. I like to see new designs and the innovation that System 76 done. Like Pop, like I use the crap out of Pop shell, as we've seen on this stream. As I hate GNOME, but Pop OS was like made me go, you know what? This is not so bad. So kudos to System 76 if they can get me to use it. That's saying something, man. Man, these downloads are going crazy slow. Yeah, I know they're working on a full DE version written in Rust, not based on GNOME. I'm looking forward to that. Because I mean GNOME does some things right, but not a whole lot. What was it? Set font. Oh well, whatever. Let's just do CD Arch Tight. Oh no, I didn't even clone it. We're gonna go clone. Let's clear. Git clone B. We're gonna branch server, and then we're gonna just put this GitHub. Yeah, I'm so happy I made this branch. It's such a good base to where you can try pretty much out anything. And just get a minimal. A true minimal. Let's go Arch Cosmic. Dev VDA. Let's build this real fast. We'll use that. US. Have you finished the Debian desktop yet? I missed the last few. You know, Luigi, great name. I would say I'm putting it on hold for a little bit. It's pretty much done for me. But the problem I'm running into is like BSPWM. One, it was Xorg only. And two, I don't have a really good way to modify it to everyone's system. Like KDE and GNOME and all these other desktop environments, they automatically modify everything for you for the most part. And if they don't, they have a nice little GUI for people to fix whatever they got going on. But for my Debian desktop using BSPWM, you kind of have to understand like BSPWMRC, how to edit that stuff, and also adding hotkeys through like SK, HKBD, or whatever the heck it is. I just don't know a way to make it very intuitive for folks, other than just say RTFM. And that's not a, I hate saying that, you know, it's such an elitist thing to say, but yeah. But I'm still hammering away at it. It's not that I've given up. It's just Not in the high priority list right now, as I pretty much got most of the config files and the base install done for those advanced users that already understand BSPWM and how hotkeys work on it. Hey, I didn't know that about Endeavor. Man, I need to look up Endeavor. Oh, alias C equals clear. That's a good one. I'll have to add that to my aliases, Sparky. Yeah, SKHKD. Say that 5 times fast. Thanks, Don. Ugh. Yeah, the thing I do love about Arch is it's so easy to wipe out the system and reload everything. And it's also a little easier to script for. So I get it. I kind of get why Valve decided to just be like, hey, oh God, I have my breakfast over here and it's just been sitting here. I'm tired. But yeah, I see why Valve chose Arch for its base, for sure. Yeah, I need to make a video. Usually Windows is better for gaming, obviously, because it's just most things are built for it, but it's not everything. Like, I know I've kind of come down on Linux gaming a bit this past year, but there are some things that are better in Linux for gaming. And I do need to kind of pick those out and show those to folks. So, you know, that's on my to-do list. All right, let's boot into our new distro. All right, Cosmic, Arch Cosmic, here we come. So let's just do a SYU, update our database real fast. Should be up to date. All right, and then Cosmic. Well, it might be Ubuntu only, huh? I wonder if they made the script compatible with Arch. Let's see. Only one way to find out. Pop OS, Cosmic. And was that like a make install? What was that? Ah, yeah, just a basic make. Make install. Oh, okay. I got you. So it wants GNOME. What was it? It wants GNOME, Pop OS, and all. Oh, yeah. I wonder if Pop Cosmic's there. No, probably not. Armando, thanks for the super chat. Sorry I've been MIA. Had a little COVID this last week and a half. Oh, that sucks, man. That's awesome. Uh, Glad to have you back, man. Yeah, I was under the weather last week too. I think it's just going around. Pop shell. Let's see if pop shell grabs all the dependencies. I wonder, is pop even in? There you are. Oh. Not really. All right, let's just install gnome because we know that's needed. Oh, what happened? System freaked out for a second there. All right, S. Let's go gnome desktop. So this should grab our Xorg that we need. It'll grab Wayland. And just checking to see if there's anything else. Is it going to grab GDM for us too? Does not look. I don't see a GDM in there either. All right, so we'll probably get like GNOME Control Center, GDM, and some other dependencies that we're missing here as well. Oh, it's not even compatible with GNOME Plus 40 Plus. Oh, crap. Yeah, let's try it anyways. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. So let's just do a systemctl status GDM. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Oh man, lots of super chats coming in. Thank you, TNA Hunter and Jason. What's your opinion of having 2 desktop environments installed on one machine with one user? It's fine. Because I mean everything can be fixed. It's not like the end of the world. I know many people would want each user to have their own desktop environment, but most times if they're different enough, like a GNOME and a KDE, it's fine if it's a single user. It's when you get desktop environments that are so close to each other, like it's a fork of GNOME, like putting like GNOME 2 and then, or not GNOME 2. I'm saying GNOME 2, but I want to say Mate. Putting like Mate and GNOME onto the same user might end up causing you some big problems down the road because the base code, there's some sharing there that could cause some issues. But like KDE and GNOME, I know for a fact work really well together. And you can use the same user, or at least I have. Let's see. Was it Pop Shell? I already did that, didn't I? Yeah, it's not there. Okay. What else we got? What was it? Pop Shell, Pop Theme. We'll just install it all from source. Oh well. Let's see if any previous, remove those. It wants Inkscape and OptiPNG. Let's grab those 2 packages. I think those will actually be the same. What do we got? Inkscape and OptiPNG. Inkscape, Opti, PNG. It's fine. Yes. Grab that. There's nothing to remove. We'll clone Pop! OS GTK-theme. And then it's a Messin and a Ninja build. Okay. I don't think I have Messin or Ninja in here yet. So let's grab those. Those are dependencies. And then let's do a git clone. And that's going to be github.com/popos/ was it GTK theme? I think it was. Yeah. And we'll just build this. Again, I don't think all this will work quite right, but it'll be close enough. I think we can pretty much emulate. This is almost like blasphemy putting Pop! OS on Arch, but sometimes it's fun to just kind of tinker around and see what we have. Any chances on you making these live streams into VODs? Oh, Jason, yes, everything's made into a VOD. One thing that you can see, if you just go to YouTube and just click on my name, whatever there, like just click here, and you'll see past live streams right here, and you can look at all the past live streams. Every single one of them should be open. I used to like private these for members only. But for the most part, I kind of like, hey, if you want to look at them again, you can. And you can go back through and see what I've done. All right. Let's get into GK theme. Oh, you know, I think I put this in the wrong directory, but oh well. All right, so then we just do a Mesa build and then go into that build directory, Ninja that, and then Ninja install. All right, Mesa and build. And build. Oops. SASSC. I don't think I've ever used that program. It's a weird dependency. Maybe not. Okay. Oh. Future. Okay, no, that looks good. Okay. And we're just gonna come into CD build. Ninja. Do we got any errors? Just some deprecation warnings. I think just Ninja install, right? All right, that should work. Oh, I have not seen Taskbar XI yet. It's a good question. Yeah, we're making a Pop! OS rolling install. Blasphemy. All right, so we got most of that in. That should fix our Pop! OS theme. Let's come back to Cosmic. We still got Shell we got to do too. Let's grab Shell. I don't think... Oh, no, this isn't AUR. Look at that. Somebody did it. I can't install into here, can I? For Windows users, there's something cool. Here's a Windows user tool I haven't seen on Linux yet, but it's super neat if you're dealing with like VMs. Sometimes I'm not in Linux, and this tool comes in. Oh, it's neat. I think it's called Click Paste. And basically, Click Paste here, you run it, it runs in your task tray, and then anytime you're in like a VM or a web page and it won't accept like a copy paste field, you can actually copy it with Click Paste, and then you just click into wherever you're at, whether it's a VM, and then it emulates typing whatever you copied on your keyboard. So it types everything in through through keystrokes. So it pastes whatever text is on the keyboard through keystrokes. Super cool. I haven't seen anything for Linux on this one. This looks like a Windows only tool, but super fun. Click paste. A fun little tidbit out for anybody wanting to mess with that. GNOME shell extension -pop OS. So let's do yay s GNOME shell extension pop OS. Ah, did it? I don't think it needed the just pop OS. No. Jason. Also, your game streaming setup with WinPC to Linux, is it still good? Yeah. No, I don't know about Wi-Fi. I would want that. It's okay for a remote, but I would say I usually make sure I have a wired connection. Unless you're doing like 720, you can probably get away with Wi-Fi. But I still use it all the time, which I can show you real quick. Let's go Moonlight. So usually what I do, like if I'm making Windows videos, I don't ever boot in. I don't ever dual boot anymore, really. I'm just like, oh, I need to make a Windows video. I'm just going to pull this up and, you know, allow inhibiting it. Yes, allow. And then I can just kind of do my thing. Now, this is set for 1440p, so it's really small. Yeah, I like to game at 1440p, 60 hertz. It looks pretty good. So that's how I usually do everything, is through Moonlight in this process. I've lately been playing some Witcher 3. I love me some. I finally started getting into this game a little bit and having some fun. So I'm not very far. I've only gotten maybe a couple hours in, and that's just something fun I've been doing. Anyways. But yes, I still game stream all the time. And also, it's really cool if you have another box, you can do that. Oh, precompiled binary. GNOME shell I spelled extension wrong. That's why. Extension. Pop OS. Bin, please. Did I misspell it again? Pop that shell. Shell bin. There we go. So we have GNOME installed. Probably grab GNOME tweaks. GNOME-tweaks, so we can do some dark mode, and then GNOME control center. Grab those two things. We're going to need that. Let's see what our package count is on this too. I'm curious. We'll do a rolling pop. Let's go. Yay. I was about to do apt. About to pull a Linus and do an apt in an Arch system. Let's see here. Yay S. Neofetch. What's our package count at? Package count. Look at that. 466 packages. That's pretty legit. That's the one thing I love about Arch, is you can get like such a minimal package count and your system will just run like a dream. What's the default? Yeah. All right. What do we got? Oh, I missed something. My bad. I forgot to install a terminal. I love Kitty. I'm done looking at terminals, I tell you that. Kitty is my saving grace here. All right, so now we have pop, but the theming is all off. Let's fix that. Let's go tweaks, right? Where's GNOME tweaks? Yeah, tweaks. Appearance. Get us some dark mode so I'm not blinding everybody. Shell, nope. Thought tweaks had dark mode. I think someone in chat said it was dark mode. Maybe I missed it. Clicked too fast. Kitty's just so minimal, and it just does everything. Once you get your config set exactly the way you want it, you're just constantly replicating that config. So it's really easy to set up once you've already set it up once. So you might dedicate like an hour to setting up your config one time, and then every system, you're like, oh, I need to grab my Kitty preference file. You just grab it and go. Yeah. Huh. I don't see a dark theme in here. I thought there was one, but maybe Gnome Tweak Tool had it. I know Gnome Tweaks is not as powerful. Let's fix the resolution a little bit first, though. I might go with like a 16 by 9. You know, I'm going to go in between. I'm not going to go full 1080p. We're going to just kind of go 1600, just so it kind of blows things up, so it's very readable on chat. I want you guys to be able to see everything. Application press and you'll see it. Okay. So you go. Tweaks. Startup applications. Wait, what was that? Oh, check the application theme in GNOME Tweak as dark mode is a separate GTK theme. Oh, okay. So let's see. Pop dark. Oh, okay. Well, there's some high color. I wonder why Shell's showing that. That's kind of odd. There must be a dependency we're missing. Let's add some customization to this, right? I know we're missing some kind of dependency for this. Ah. All right, come on. Ah, the keys are all jacked up since we did that. Crap. Probably should log out. Log out. All right. Come back in. That should fix that. One more thing I want to do is fix the maximize button as well. But is there Meslo? Yeah. PTF Meslo, but I want Nerd Fonts Meslo. How long is that going to take, you think? You misclip Pop Dark. Classic. Classic. All right, tweaks. Oh, look at that. All right, cool. But I still want to... The shell itself should change as well. All right, we'll get that in a second. I'm just going to grab some Meslo fonts. And then let's fix some of these hotkeys. I really love maximize hotkeys. And then getting pop shell going. It's missing that. Should we do... You know, I don't ever give Firefox any love. Since I feel like using all the things I hate this week. Let's install some Firefox. Firefox, and we'll grab GNOME tweaks, or GNOME extension, whatever it is. Yeah, I'll grab the extension app here in a second. Plop OS. I mean, Pop does pretty good job with a lot of how their tools look. I don't mind it. I just hate it. It's based on Ubuntu. That's why I'm like, let's make Pop OS Arch-based. Let's make an Arch-based Pop OS. I think it'd be fun. Oh, my theme's off again. All right. Let's log out, redo it. I think it might be the scaling in the VM too. Is this a scale? Always, never, only full screen. Let's just go full screen with this. All right, yeah. All right, now let's set our settings. Shortcut keys, we'll grab that. We're gonna make us an Pop-O. That's still, why is my mouse all wonky? All right, let's fix this. I think maybe, all right, we'll fix. Oh, that's so annoying. Launchers. Let's go web browser. Oh man. Super B set. I gotta click like a good like quarter of an inch below that or centimeter below it. Let's go terminal. All right, we'll do custom. Close windows. Who uses Alt F4? What kind of caveman uses Alt F4 to close a window? I know most of the population uses Alt F4, but you know. Let's go kitty. Set shortcut. All right, fine. I think my mouse just like completely stopped working now. Parts of it. Let's give it a restart. All right, there we go. Did I... Oh, one thing I did miss here was maximize. Oh, but it doesn't matter. We're about to do pop shell. And if we look... Darn it. Let's see. We look under Cosmic, I think it is. Did I do pop shell? I need to add that alias. All right, that's going to bug me to no end. Let's fix our aliases. All right, there we go. I have to have my long listing alias. Doing LS, I'm just like, I can't deal. Oh, you know, I did CSH here too. Oh, well, whatever. All good. Yeah, I'll grab the extension app. Let's grab that real quick. We'll go extensions.gnome. Or gnome extensions. Whatever that. Oh, it's not org. My bad. You know, my mouse is still a little off. Yeah, okay. A little weird. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Probably like a QEMU one. What's the agent for QEMU? I think it's just... think it was just, I can't remember. Mute guest agent, that's what it was. All right, there we go. And then I'm gonna shut this down one more time. It's just it's acting a little funny. The mouse is just a little bit off and it's driving me crazy. So like I can't click on the right spot and I'm like, come on. So we got the guest agent there. That should be good. And if this continues, I'll probably just go 1920 by 1080p and then do that as well. Some of your nerves after the data loss scare. I was having flashbacks. Yeah, Jason, that was a little weird. I would say on the data loss thing, I wasn't too worried about it, mainly because we did have local replication. We did have a cloud backup. It just wasn't completely up to date. So the business would have survived regardless. And then there was still a lot of things we could have done. Let's say that new QNAP screwed up all the drives in the raids. We could have still sent that off for data recovery. We could have done cloning and tried to hook it up to a Linux. There's a lot of different troubleshooting. We could have gone past that to where we could have recovered the data, I think. And there was only a little bit of data really that needed to be recovered, only about a month or two. So not too terrible if things didn't come back up with it. But my worst ever was when I had a complete sand die on me, which is really, really rare. You never really hear about sand failures, but it can happen. I think it was like an HP left hand, and it was ancient. It was like 50. I mean, it wasn't like that device's fault. It was just an ancient device. And I remember it going out, and I had to rebuild like 30 different VMs that were all like Windows Server based, and there's a bunch of like line of business apps. It was a nightmare. So just files off of a little rinky-dink NAS box, I wasn't too concerned. I was like, we're gonna get it back. But it still gave me the butterflies a bit. It's still, even with having that experience, it still was like, oh, this sucks. All right, let's grab Pop Shell. I thought we installed Pop Shell, did we not? Oh, maybe I need to enable the extension. I bet you it's in extensions. Although Pop extension, native computer host connector is not detected. Really? You don't say. Chrome GNOME shell. Huh. Isn't that weird? I wonder why that is not... Strange. Yeah, I don't know if I am probably missing a dependency for this. Although shell integration extension is running, native host connector is not detected. There's got to be something I'm missing. GNOME shell. That should already be there. So if you look, Okay, maybe not. Huh, okay. It's related to the browser, it must be low. Yeah, I know I didn't install snaps or anything. And that's there, but... Huh. Yeah. Let's do another GNOME shell. Is there anything else in here? GNOME shell extensions, GNOME shell. App indicators, just another like extension for GNOME shell. We shouldn't have to go to the AUR for this functionality. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, this is all just extensions. I guess we could do Chrome GNOME install, but I mean, we're using Firefox. Is needed for... Okay, well. All right, let's do it. Let's try that hotkey from earlier to clear the shell. Control L. Oh, that's my new favorite thing I learned today. Clear. Oh, that's cool. All right, neat. New hotkeys are always fun to learn. Weird. All right, well, I'm using Firefox, but I needed to install Chrome GNOME shell. All right, that makes sense. Oh, not gonna allow me to do that. Oh well. Install, configure. Interesting. I wish I had the pop shell extension. Let's change our resolution. I'm thinking maybe our resolutions is what messing up my mouse clicks. Let's just go. Let's go full resolution, right? Ah, beautiful. Hey, that works. Kaplow! We're just gonna go way big on the resolution. Go big or go home, I always say. All right. Well, it might be a little laggier since we're going super high res, but whatever. It's fine. All right. So let's see Cosmic in action. Let's restart again. Let's see how fast our system starts up here. Not too bad. Maybe we do an auto start there too, so we don't have to type that in every time. Let's do that. Users. Auto login. Oh, all right. Man, freaked out for me a second. All right. Cool. So now subsequential reboots should be fine. And if we look at tweaks, this still looks not... Huh. A little weird. Probably want to do like regular pop though. And this right here, the shell, it's showing that. I really wish that was normalized. Ah. Okay. Interesting. Let's grab some kind of tiling. We can't use pop shell because it's out of date, but we should be able to do something like shell extensions. Let's see what tile. I think we did. I can't remember. Tiling assistant. Yeah, pop shell works so darn good when you can. Yeah, I hate gnome extensions. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's try user themes. I think we're still missing some theming here. I'm reading chat, and user themes is definitely needed. Let's go ahead and update that bad boy, shall we? That's definitely needed. That might be one of the things that's missing. And typically, I do like app indicator, grab it, and what else we have? Arch updates indicator. That's cool. We'll toss that in there, sure. NordVPN connect. All right. Nothing too crazy here. I think that should do it. Let's see how this looks now. Let's go workspaces, applications. Still looks a little funky. What's that do? It just brings a folder. Let's put this as junk. Let's organize that maybe. Ah. Can we just toss that down there? Probably don't need Inkscape. Definitely don't need that. CMake. I wonder why it's putting like CMake. I can't say I've ever used CMake from the GUI. Alright, that's better. I don't know, I still don't like it. Still feels meh. Let's go pop. All right. Let's log out. Log back in, see if we get any. Any differences? Not really. Pop shell get version works. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you, chat. Pop shell get. I think it's gnome extension. I think I need to remove let's do a search. Pop shell. And we have the extension bin installed, so let's remove it. Let's go yay. Remove gnome shell pop extension bin. Yes. And then we can go yay. Yes. And we're just going to grab the git. Go there. It'll require us to build it, but it shouldn't take very much to build this sucker. All right, pop launcher, pop shell shortcuts. Okay, proceed. Yeah, it doesn't look like too many bad. I mean, Node.js, Rust, a lot of this stuff I would use anyways. So it's not that big a deal. And then we'll have pretty much a working install after this. Probably do tweaks, go back to dark mode. And we're still missing some icons too. Probably like a Noto emoji, I would imagine, would be one that we need to grab. Yeah, Blackworm, I'm really looking forward to seeing a new desktop environment too. It's always just fun seeing new stuff. That's kind of why I wanted to kind of pop on here and see it. That's also kind of why I wanted to build like that branch. That server branch on Arch Titus was the big thing I wanted to show today, was just showing how to build stuff yourself. And that gives just such a good base foundation for folks to build on, to where you can just kind of mess around and then, like, okay, I'm done, and then just wipe out the VM once you're finished. And we'll grab the emoji, Noto emoji, I think, as well. We're gonna need that one. Still can't set up Wi-Fi. Tush, you might want to do like while you're in your console. I think it's probably the best way to set it up would be it has Network Manager. So you could do, what is it? Network Manager. CLI Wi-Fi setup. I would just do it directly from the CLI, and I can't remember what it was. In CLI. So usually you could do, let's see, should be, where are you at? Usually there's a one, yeah, right, yeah, right here should be good. Leave off IF face. You don't need that. So the syntax would look like this: nm CLI Network Manager command line interface. That's what that stands for. And then you would go D device Wi-Fi, and then you do the SSID. So connect to my Wi-Fi name, or SSID, whatever the name of your SSID is, and then you would just go password, and then this would be like your Wi-Fi password, something like that, you know, whatever your Wi-Fi password is. And then when you do that, it remembers, it makes this profile, and then it just auto connects you. So you never have to like try to reconnect to your Wi-Fi ever again. And it just does it all from the command line, which is nice. Yeah, Arch Titus works with UEFI as well. It actually has 3 BIOS, so it has so it supports all of them, whether it's legacy or UEFI. Using a green screen. Yeah, I'm using a green screen. I redid my lighting a little bit. I don't know if I like the new lighting, but it felt like it added a lot more clarity when I redid the lighting, so I'm probably going to leave it, even though it's not ideal for me. Maybe add like a third light or something to balance things out, because there's still a little more shadows. It looks like I haven't slept in 3 days. But hey, you know. All right, let's see if we can't get our pop shell working, right? That's the big thing we wanted to do here. Installed extensions. Maybe. What happened? Oh, there it goes. All right, pop shell. Ah, still shows out of date. Really? Does this have its settings? Background. I wonder if there's a cosmic setting in GNOME here. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything to... Oh well. Let's give it one more reboot and see what we get. It's just a fun little experiment here, just to see what we can do. Not something that I'm going to use like on a crazy basis or anything like that, but I at least wanted to just see what we could accomplish in just a short amount of time. We got pop shot. Oh, yes. It did work. I like it. Yes. So now if we launch our shell. Oops, 1 second. Tile, please. Yeah. You got that tiling sexiness. So then if we do like a search, Noto, color, I think it was like color emoji or something. I can't remember. Yeah, that's it. I can never remember the package. I would imagine the emoji font would be not an AUR. I hate installing from the AUR. Is there another one? We got a community one. Yeah, there it is. I see. Anytime I see AUR, I'm like, let's pause from that. Noto fonts emoji is what we want. And then, does that give me font? Yeah, look at that. Now we got pretty emojis in the top left. And then typically one of the last configurations I would do here as well. Let's just go. Let's quit that, quit that. I would usually do like a workspaces type deal as well. Yeah, so this is pop on Arch. What do y'all think? What's the consensus? I mean, it's neat. I guess we could grab like the pop background to really make it. Some of the fonts are a little off here. We could probably go into tweaks and fix that. Let's go pop dark. Does that fix our applications? Still a little off. Probably go into here. Or fonts. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think Linux supports HDR. I haven't seen it, at least. Cosmic Dock. Although that's not everyone's jam. Yeah, Cosmic Dock would be nice. So here's my workspaces. I usually do static workspaces. I like to do at least like 4 static workspaces. Let's search. Where do they put that in GNOME? Where are you, workspaces? You think they put it under like displays or multitasking, probably. Get rid of these hot corners. Usually I do fixed. There we go. Primary, whatever, that's fine. Awesome. So then I do that. And then from here, come into our extensions. And usually I would do like auto move Install that. Settings. And I usually would then grab my browser. So since we're using Firefox, let's select it. And then anytime I open up Firefox, it would select this. And then, so if you're like in a different workspace, let's say, ooh, I like their little pop-up there. Neat. Okay. Let's go into keyboard. And then customize. And workspace. So move window to workspace. And this is usually where I go. Set. Stop shifting around on me. And then I do Control Shift 1, Control Shift 2, Control Shift 3, and then, or Super Shift 4. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 to move this. So if I wanted to move this, I would just go Control Shift 3 to move it to Workspace 3. But that is, something going on with my VM here. I don't think I set oh, there it goes. Okay. But then one more workspace I usually do. Switch to workspace. So this is where I just do Super 1 and Super 2, Super 3, and then finally Super 4. So now when I launch browser, it'll launch like a new Firefox browser and shift us to Workspace 1 using that extension. And that's kind of how I set up my main box here too. But this uses just kind of like the Pop! OS theming on Arch. Although, did it? Yeah, it didn't really shift it, but it did move it to Workspace 1. Let's usually I do a workspace indicator. Let's do that. Install. I like the smaller one with the numbers. There's another one that you can do, but like you can do this and you can easily kind of see how you could browse your workspaces. And then you have all that tiling goodness. It's kind of weird, but I like it. It's a neat way of utilizing Wayland, GNOME, all within like the Arch environment. So this is just a basic install of Arch. And you'll notice the packages here at the end, 530 packages for full GNOME environment. And it is with Firefox launch, that's a 1.4 gigs of memory. But let's just do another neo fetch. 1 gig of memory, right at. Still a little heavy, but it's GNOME. Get a little bit heavy on the memory usage. But pretty crisp, pretty clear. A recreation of Pop! OS using just a server base. And you get none of the bloat, none of the extra junk. And then you can just add everything that you need. Kind of a cool thing. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's where Valve is going to. Like they're using this in and let me back here actually. Let me get out of this VM, shut it down. And this is just me messing around with like a new one using the Arch Titus server branch. But this is my iteration of it. Still using GNOME and seeing this. I'm gonna probably do Deepin next just to see it. I like Deepin's shell and a lot of their stuff they do and how they expand it. I want to see how that goes because some of the extensions in GNOME and how it handles extensions is obviously something I've criticized a bunch. But this right here with Wayland and the support, I just can't beat it with my HD monitor and then making it match up with the stream because I'm doing a lot of mirroring. and there's scaling involved, and making all that look nice for the stream here is extremely difficult when you use Xorg. It's not impossible, but you could probably go back to my prior streams when I was using Xorg, and you can see a big difference. It looks not as good, and this way it does improve things quite a bit, which is kind of nice. Yeah, the VM was pretty slow there. I don't know what was going on with that. There's something else happening in the background. Maybe I forgot to allocate something, or maybe I forgot to enable the guest agent through the host. I don't know. There's a bunch of different stuff, but it was more of just an exploratory thing. It wasn't like it was unbearably slow or anything. Eventually, I will upgrade my system. I'm waiting probably till this year just to see what happens. Like, I would love to get like an AM5 if they come out and they have some pretty good specs to them. I'd probably go AM5. But also, I kind of want to see the second generation of Intel as well. I was pretty impressed with Alder Lake and what they did with like efficiency cores and that type of thing. I still thought they ran quite a bit hot and also a little power hungry, which I was not a fan of. But again, I think these next generations coming out this year are really going to blow it out of the water, both Intel and AMD. I don't think you'll be able to go wrong, and they'll be around for many years to come. So I'm waiting for that. Can you jump into a call quickly? No, not right now, Hikari. But yeah, I'm just seeing what all's going on with it. We'll see. I might go Xeon. If I'm doing mini VMs, I would prefer Xeon. It's just the price of Xeon is a bit troublesome. I would like to go with like right now, if I was going to buy a system and it was like a high-end Alder Lake. The only reason why I really don't like Alder Lake is no ECC support. I would love to upgrade my memory, go with like DDR5 ECC memory with all of that stuff. Oh man, that would be choice. But if you're going Intel, there is no ECC support for any residential chips, so you have to go Xeon. So that's a good example. We were actually looking at stuff for storage for me and Dak that I work with, and we were kind of going back and forth trying to figure out what's the best ECC type setup you can do, bang for the buck. And I think we ended up getting it's a brand new chip, and it's only OEM based through AMD. But if you want like a really powerful yet affordable storage system, AMD makes something called I think it was like the 5650 or 5059. No, it was the 5650 Pro. And the 5650 Pro G. It has integrated graphics and it supports ECC memory. And you can't even touch it. Like the closest thing that Intel has is like $1,000. Where I think we got this processor OEM for, I want to say around 300, but it was like eBay. So yeah, to each his own. Yeah. Yeah, what's up, bud? I'm streaming. Alrighty. Yeah, I do hate. I really wish if Intel did the ECC memory with Alder Lake, I would have bought it. I would have definitely bought that. But yeah, Intel's known for gatekeeping a lot of their components, and that's just kind of how they do things. Possible to install or use Polybar in a KDE environment. I don't know. I have never tried to do Polybar because KDE has its own setup to where if you replace that, getting to like KDE settings and everything would be interesting. Not to say you can't. I'm pretty sure you could. It'd just be a little hacky, I think. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to shut it down for the day. I just kind of wanted to explore some stuff, go into some branches. The only branch really we talked about, I think, was the server branch in Arch Titus. But getting that done and seeing some other things, pop it in. Every stream, I like getting on those GitHub projects, just seeing what pull requests have been done, what issues people are having, and then improving those projects for future videos. If you're interested more in the Arch Titus server branch, I do have a video coming out, I think Sunday, and that's going to be a 4-minute Arch install, and it's just fun. And then you can use that to kind of tinker around with stuff, whether it's loading it up in a VM. You can spin it up, do your stuff, and then be like, okay, this might work on my main system. Then build it all in the VM, test it, and figure out what works for you, and then go from there. But thank you all for stopping in today. It was always a blast, kind of just exploring all these different things. And with that, I'll see y'all next week, and look forward to just kind of chillaxing this weekend and doing some stuff. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend as well, and I'll see you in the next one.